Welcome back, everybody, to Beyond the Curve. I got some great videos for you today. Don't forget to hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's do it.
By the power of Grayskull,
Why did Nikola Tesla care so much about the numbers 3, 6, and 9? He once said that understanding these numbers could unlock the secrets of the universe. To understand this, we need to realize that humans didn't invent math. It's something we found. Math is like the rules and language of the universe. Here's what Tesla figured out. When you double 1, you get 2. Double 2, and you get 4. Double 4, and you get 8. Double 8, and you get 16. If you add the digits of 16, 1 plus 6, you get 7. Double 7, and you get 14. Add the digits of 14, 1 plus 4, and you get 5. When you double 5, you get 10. Adding the digits of 10, 1 plus 0, gives 1. This pattern keeps repeating without ever showing the numbers 3, 6, or 9. However, when you double 3, you get 6. Doubling 6 gives 12, and adding the digits of 12, 1 plus 2, brings you back to 3. These two numbers, 3 and 6, work together in a repeating cycle. The number 9 stands out as the highest, most independent number. Tesla believed that 3, 6, and 9 belong to a higher dimension that influences the three-dimensional world we live in. If 3 and 6 represent yin and yang, the two opposing forces, then 9 is a higher power that oversees and controls the entire universe. Why did Nikola Tesla?
So Nikola Tesla, he has this famous quote. He says, basically, if you want to uncover the mysteries of the universe, it's found within the numbers 3, 6, and 9. He realized that there was a repeating pattern of life everywhere, all on Earth. If you see the designs of like a honeycomb or the designs of flowers and patterns everywhere, it follows and mimics this design of 3, 6, and then 9. It's basically, it's a repeating pattern of life. It's a life pattern. And it's possible evidence to also discuss the idea of an intelligence that for our universe as well. It's like a pattern, it's like a blueprint. It's a blueprint of the creation of life in the universe. Now, the reason 3 is the first number is that 3 is the first most simplistic number where you can create a triangle, right? And so it gets into the tetrahedron and all of that, right? We're talking about this type of pattern-like design that mimics life, the creation of life everywhere in the universe.
This has been hidden for centuries. The Eiffel Tower's real purpose is extremely different to what you've been told. Most people believe it is just a symbol of Parisian culture and the industrial age, but there is far more. Its secrets could have revolutionized the world. The Eiffel Tower was completed in 1889 for the World's Fair. It was designed as a temporary exhibit showcasing modern engineering. But here is where it gets interesting. There is overwhelming evidence that the tower was actually built as a giant antenna for wireless electricity experiments. Nikola Tesla visited Paris in the 1880s, and during his visit he met with Gustave Eiffel and shared his vision of a world powered by free wireless energy. Tesla proved that with his Wardenclyffe Tower invention that could wirelessly transmit electricity across the globe. Eiffel was fascinated by Tesla's ideas and incorporated these principles into the design of the tower. The lattice structure is not just an aesthetic choice, but it gets even stranger. During the construction of the Eiffel Tower, there were reports of strange electromagnetic phenomena and unexplained lights around the tower. Local newspapers often mention mysterious experiments conducted late at night. Some even claim to have seen sparks and glowing orbs.
Talking in my sleep at night, making myself crazy. Out of my mind, out of my mind. Wrote it down and read it out, hoping it would save me. Too many times. My love, he makes it feel like nobody else. But my love, he doesn't love me, so I tell myself. One, don't pick up the phone. You know he's only calling cause he's drunk and alone. Two, don't let him in. You have to kick him out again. Three, don't be his friend. You know you're gonna wake up in his bed in the morning. You're under him. You ain't getting over him. I got no rules, I I keep pushing forwards, but he keeps pulling me backwards. Nowhere to turn, nowhere to turn. No. Now I'm standing back from it. I finally see the pattern. I never learned. But my love, he doesn't love me, so I tell myself, I do. One, don't pick up the phone. You know he's only calling cause he's drunk and alone. Two, don't let him in, you'll have to kick him out again. Three, don't be a friend. You know you're gonna wake up in his bed in the morning, and if you're under him, you ain't getting over him. I got no rules, I count him. I got no rules, I count him. I gotta do love for myself. Practice makes perfect. I'm still trying to learn it by heart. Eat, sleep, and breathe it, rehearse and repeat it, cause one, don't pick up the phone, you know he's only calling cause he's drunk and alone. Two, don't let him in, you have to kick him out again. Three, don't be his friend, you know you're gonna wake up in his bed in the morning. If you're under him, you ain't getting over.
Barron Trump is a time traveler, and Nikola Tesla may have made it possible. In 1943, Tesla died alone in a New York hotel. Days later, U.S. agents raided his room and found a strange formula. He called it the chrono-frequency equation, a blueprint for bending time using electromagnetic fields. But here's the twist. The government gave the notes to John Trump, Donald Trump's uncle. He dismissed them as useless. Yet months later, Project Rainbow began. A Navy ship vanished from Philadelphia, then reappeared miles away. In seconds, it returned, as if time itself glitched. But it goes deeper. In the 1800s, Ingersoll Lockwood wrote stories about a boy named Barron Trump, guided by a man named John. Now, over a century later, those names reappear. Barron, John, New York. Coincidence, or a buried truth? Comment Tesla, and I'll send you the document they've hidden for decades.
One sec, just calculating the odds that Donald Trump actually is a time traveler. And they say he pulled it off with the help of Nikola Tesla. Hey, someone get this nut job off the internet already. Listen, I'm about to spit a series of pure facts, as I usually do, that support this insane theory. Even I found this one hard to believe at first, and it may not be true, but the evidence was just getting harder and harder to deny. Feel free to fact check any of these and make your own independent decision on what you think. You ready? For real, let me know if any single one of these points is not true. Nikola Tesla was an imaginative inventor in the early 1900s with a keen interest in time travel. That's a fact. According to reports, in 1895, he made a shocking discovery suggesting, not confirming, that time and space could be influenced by magnetic fields. After which he's quoted as saying he could see the past, present, and future all at the same time. When Tesla passed away in 1943, the FBI and Office of Alien Properties seized his research and handed it to a team for study, among whom was John G. Trump, Donald Trump's uncle and a well-respected electrical engineer at MIT. This all actually happened. John G. Trump claimed Tesla's documents did not include new sound workable principles or methods for realizing any results, which may be trying to downplay what Tesla's work was truly capable of. In 1952, after a U.S. court declared Sava Kasanovich, Nikola Tesla's nephew, the rightful heir to his uncle's estate, Tesla's files and other materials were sent to Serbia, where the nephew lived, and they now reside in the Nikola Tesla Museum. But while the FBI originally recorded some 80 trunks of documents among Tesla's work, only 60 trunks arrived in Serbia. Maybe they packed the 80 into 60, but there is the possibility that someone kept the missing documents. So, John G. Trump receives 80 trunks of Tesla's confiscated documents, some of which have never been shown to the public, and only 60 are returned. Keep this story in mind, because we barely even grazed a pip. Now, a lawyer and writer named Ingersoll Lockwood lived in New York City around the same time that Tesla did, in the late 18 to early 1900s. In the 1890s, Ingersoll Lockwood wrote a book called Barron Trump, Trump's marvelous underground journey, which just so happens to share the same name as Donald Trump's son. The book is about an aristocrat boy named Barron who lives in Trump Castle, who gets bored of his life of luxury and decides to go on an adventure. Barron comes into possession of a 15th century manuscript titled A World Within a World, written by a man named Don, who sort of acts as a spiritual mentor throughout the story. Through this manuscript, he travels to Russia to find a portal that leads him into the Hollow Earth and go on a time travel adventure. A pretty standard work of fiction, but an awful lot of coincidences in there if you ask me. Then in 1896, Lockwood writes another book called 1900, or The Last President, in which an unlikely wealthy candidate becomes president of the United States. In the book, no one thought this person would win, so riots break out in New York City claiming, and I quote, "The Fifth Avenue Hotel will be the first to feel the fury of the mob." Trump Tower happens to be on Fifth Avenue in New York City. In The Last President, the president also announces a Secretary of Agriculture named Pence, the same name as Trump's past vice president. Then, when he runs again in 1900, an uproar arises and the Capitol is struck by dynamite and destroyed. A fiasco in the Capitol building following an uproar from a presidential election. Where have we seen that before? The official synopsis of the book claims it laments or mourns the Democrat Party's socialist platform of 1896. Hey, I ain't touching that one. And finally, a quote near the end of the book reads, "As the dawn broke cold and gray, and its first dim light fell upon that shattered dome," referring to the Capitol building, "relaxed, glorious even in its ruins, a single human eye, filled a gleam of devilish joy, looked up at it long and steadily." A single human eye? Gleam of devilish joy? What exactly are they talking about here? In a book written over 120 years ago, almost like it knew what was going to happen in the future, during a time which Tesla was toying with time travel, whose documents were seized by the uncle of the person named in the book, and sort of outlines his political career. The theory goes, meaning this part right here is not a fact, John G. Trump took Tesla's documents, used them to make a time machine, and shared that tech with his family, who then used it to travel through time and warn the world of impending doom through a series of books. Why be so cryptic about it and warn the world through books instead of just outright telling us? The time traveler's dilemma. If we're outright warned by someone from the future about some impending doom, the perpetrators of that doom will come up with another plan as their original one had been foiled. Crazy, 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 insane, ridiculous nonsense. Time travel is impossible, and it never will be, right? Famed PhD physicist Michio Kaku doesn't seem to think so. Quoted as saying, "Once confined to fantasy and science fiction, time travel is now simply an engineering problem." In 2003. Might be possible is still very far from confirmed, but it also means it's not 100% impossible. Even the Google debunker's beloved Snopes fact-checking website calls this particular theory mostly true, deriving the mostly from a handful of nitpick technicalities, like Don isn't his real name in the book, it's just a title for a man and such. One coincidental fact? Sure. 2, 3 maybe even, why not? But 14 factual coincidences with absolutely no connection whatsoever? What are the chances of that? Hey, yo, somebody run those facts back and let me know. I think they're catching on.
The Trump time travel theory, a presidency across time. What if Donald Trump was a time traveler, orchestrating events across history to ensure his rise to power? Here's how it could have played out. 1. The future origins. In a dystopian future where globalist elites control the world, Trump, a rebellious billionaire, discovers a secret time travel project. Knowing the only way to prevent this bleak fate is to become president, he uses the technology to alter history in his favor. 2. Planting the seeds in the past, Trump travels to the mid-20th century, influencing his own family's business dealings to amass wealth and power. He ensures the rise of reality TV culture, paving the way for his eventual celebrity status, which later translates into political influence. 3. Manipulating key events, 1980s. He whispers ideas of nationalist economic policies into the ears of politicians, planting seeds for his future America First agenda. 1990s, he subtly steers media trends toward reality television and sensationalism, knowing that a media-driven world will be the perfect launch pad for his campaign. 2000s, he ensures the rise of social media, a tool he later masters for direct communication with the public, bypassing traditional media filters. 4. The 2016 election, the masterstroke. By carefully shaping history, Trump positions himself at the right place and time to win the presidency. His foreknowledge of key political and media events allows him to outmaneuver opponents, stunning the world with his victory. 5. The ultimate goal, his mission: to prevent the dystopian globalist future he once witnessed. Whether he succeeded or only set new timelines in motion remains unknown. Perhaps even now, he's still traveling through time, ensuring his legacy remains intact. Conclusion: if Trump were a time traveler, it would explain his uncanny ability to predict political shifts, his media dominance, and his rise from a businessman to the most powerful office in the world. Could he be rewriting history for a greater purpose? Only time will tell.
They say energy is everywhere, but what if the elites already know how to harness it? In 1901, Guglielmo Marconi explored transmitting radio signals wirelessly across the Atlantic. But long before Edison's light bulb, ancient copper domes were harvesting magnetricity from the sky. These domes weren't just decorations, they were energy devices. Built centuries ago, these buildings pulled free energy straight from the ether. These towering giants we call skyscrapers, they're said to have existed since the 12th century, designed to harvest lightning. Tower spires connected to the ether, giving wireless access to energy, long before Wi-Fi existed. Extracting copper has always been difficult, yet ancient builders used it to create massive, intricate domes, hinting at knowledge lost to us today. The pyramids of Egypt were more than tombs. They harnessed fire in the middle, a hidden energy source. 2.3 million
I wouldn't say it's lost to us, I'd say it's hidden from us.
blocks, 800 tons a day, construction timelines that defy logic. And in the Grand Canyon, an ancient Egyptian city lies hidden. Hieroglyphs, relics, and off-limits airspace, all guarded by armed agents. They call it King Kite's Cave, a lost city filled with Egyptian gold artifacts, built 3,000 years ago and suppressed by the elites. The Vajra, known as the Dorje, was said to be the most powerful energy weapon in the universe. It appears across multiple cultures as Zeus's lightning bolt, Thor's hammer, and Indra's thunder. A double Dorje symbolizes elemental balance: earth, air, fire, and water converging to form transcendent consciousness. It represents the stability of the unseen energy fields. From pyramids to skyscrapers, ancient technology and modern structures tell the same story. Free energy is all around us. It's time to ask, why?
So I had the idea, I called my electrician, and we measured, and in fact, we could measure a current in the tree. Here, please, Fundi. You have to go in the flesh of the tree, and immediately now, that you see, I'm not joking, this tree is currently delivering 25 volts DC. So one day, Fundi and me, we took our electrical wire, so just an electrical wire, round our tree, nicely, like that, tight. Yeah, it helps if before you put your wire, you really scratch the skin of the tree, and it helps if you keep a distance between your wires. You see the scar in the tree? Yeah. Where the tree have those scars, that's where they produce the most of power, categorically. Yeah? So that is where you can get up to 280 volt, even AC. But lunchtime, when it requires full sun. Electrical connectors. Now we should be able to measure the current, or we can run a light bulb or a grinder, which we are going to do for you in a second. Okay. So now, of course, I have both wires on. So here, careful. You see that? This is now 220 volt DC. You can check here, there is no wires going to the tree or whatsoever. Even before we figured that in the day we can run a grinder and in the night we can run a light bulb. All our security lights here in our shop, everything here runs off these trees. Now we connect the angle grinder. Here, can you please connect it for me? So now you can see it is 2 o'clock lunchtime, bright sunlight. Yeah. So we will see if we get now an angle grinder to run. Yeah.
See that? Free energy everywhere.
All right, here I have some earth batteries. This is the first one. Get a 0.8 DC. These polarities are reversed. This is the positive, that's the negative. They have the cords reversed. So it's really negative on here. This is another earth battery, but it's series. So if I go like this, now I have 1.3 volts DC. All right, so I have everything connected to this board, and it tells me I have 3 volts DC. This is the same number on here. On the output, it's giving me around 15 volts. Originally, all these tied in series gave me around 8 volts, but once I connected it to this board, I had a voltage drop, and now it's dropping to around this much. Now, I have this fan here. I'm going to see if it can be powered by this. So let's connect it. There we go. Yep, power. And this fan is running. Safe journeys, friends. Peace.
The technology of conveying electrical energy through the natural medium was the title of a patent application Tesla submitted to the U.S. in 1905. He believed that the planet Earth was a massive electrical generator with an infinite supply of energy that was rotating around 2 magnetic poles, as described in the patent, which included designs for a number of global generators that draw power from the ionosphere. Later, he would refer to his triangle as Tesla's electromagnetic pyramid.
And the Earth's energy, it's called the Schumann energy. And the Schumann energy of the Earth, Mother Earth energy, it resonates at what we call 7.83 hertz. It's a vibrating energy. Some of you who are very sensitive or very intuitive can put their bare feet on that morning grass that's a little bit wet, or on concrete, or on sand at the beach, or on brick, or tile in your house on the first floor if it's not insulated. You're not going to ground yourself with wood or asphalt. Asphalt's man-made, but concrete's good, brick is good. And some of you might feel that little vibratory energy of the Earth. And this is what happens, Tom. The Earth is struck by lightning thousands of times a minute, particularly around the equator. If you walk outside after a lightning storm, and that energy is so charged, or just walk outside any time and put your bare feet on the ground, you're going to absorb those electrons. This is why we take antioxidants, why some of us take CoQ10 out there, which is the best antioxidant they can possibly take, or melatonin, which is another, really potent antioxidant, is that it ties up marauding free radicals in the body. And these free radicals cause accelerated aging. But you can also get antioxidants through your feet. And basically, in our foot, What we have, K1 point of the foot, it's an acupuncture point. And when the foot is placed on the ground, what will happen is, whether you're wearing leather or barefoot, is that through the K1 acupuncture point, there's an energy meridian that goes all the way up through the back, through your spine, through your brain, and on the back of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. And it is part of what we call the kidney meridian in the body. And it's a major acupuncture channel which will deliver more electrons. Because remember, we think we're flesh and bones, but we're really electrical. We're electrical beings. One of the things that grounding does for you is that it balances the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. The experiments that I did with earthing, I mean, we shows that it supports heart rate variability, meaning that your nervous system is more relaxed. The other thing, the greatest discovery I've ever made in my lifetime as a physician, and we know that grounding for 2 hours thins the blood. And one of the reasons that we have so much illness in our society today is that our blood is like red ketchup. It should be like red wine. But what makes it like red ketchup? Well, trans fats do, sugars do, electromagnetics does. In other words, computers, cell phones, Wi-Fi. All those electromagnetic forces are they're chaotic forces, non-harmonious forces that thicken the blood.
Well, those are the videos I have for you today. I hope you see there's energy everywhere, but yet we're paying electric bills, and the body itself is pure electricity. We send off energy, which they harvest and they use for different things. Every now and again, don't forget to go outside, barefoot, ground yourself, hug a tree, try to get back in some natural rhythm. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.